I'm Dan Gallagher, and welcome to a brand new series here in the CBC called Ear to the Ground. A chance for us to introduce you guys to a bunch of young new bands from across the country, right from Vancouver, BC to St. John's, Newfoundland. On tonight's show, we're going to meet the Leslie Spit Trio, based in Toronto, two-thirds of the band originally from Calgary. Now, they met while doing community theater here in Toronto. They said, hey, we're broke, let's make a couple extra bucks. We'll go on the street and busk. From busking to a record career, to a record career, to a Juno, and now we have the band. Just putting their finishing touches on their brand new record with engineer Joe Hardy, who of course worked on Tom Cochrane's Juno award-winning Mad Mad World, and should be out any day now. The band is Laura Hubert, Pat Langley, and Jack Nicholson, not the Joker, but the nicest folks in rock and roll. Here they are, the Leslie Spit Trio.
Sometimes I wish we'd never been together and we were working out the bugs on our own. Please don't get me wrong, it's not that I regret us. We were just so young and unaware of our self-trust. You wouldn't be the one getting so depressed with it. I wouldn't be the one tied up in a straitjacket. Sometimes I wish we'd never been together. We could wipe away the history with a single feather. You would look at me and me right back at you. There'd never be any doubt of the next thing we could do. I wouldn't be the one being sad of losing you. You wouldn't be the one searching for the perfect kiss. Sometimes I wish.
We came out here and rehearsed for 2 weeks because we had no songs or anything.
No name.
No name.
This is where the name.
So a day before, we still didn't have a name. Oh, Leslie Spit, okay.
We were standing on one of those mounds out there.
There was a mound kind of over that there.
Leslie Spit Trio. But not Trio, because maybe we'll play with other people eventually. Yeah. Maybe a chorus of people. Who knows what kind of thing could happen. So maybe. We just said Trio, and there was no trees around, and we kind of like trees. Trio.
And we came here to rehearse because Tag didn't like rehearsing inside the house. And he usually calls his shots when it comes to working on new songs.
Resisting temptation of immediate gratification, concrete dust horizon, resin situation. In my heart, on suspicion, toss so many words in the air, privileged information, can't see it in the sky. Catch the highway, gonna search for UFOs. In colored lights, shining on black roads. Hey, Mr. Spaceman, are you looking for a dream? Take me away.
Well, the way the three of us met was Jack and I actually met out in Calgary, and we hung out there for a while. And we decided we'd go to Toronto. I don't know why, but we just did.
The Golden City.
The Golden City, yes. Well, basically, we were two kind of young country punks that met Laura on the streets, and she showed us the ropes. We were terrified. We had no idea which way to turn or which way to go. We both had milky skin, you know, and
short hair.
I almost went back a couple times, you know. I got here and, you know, didn't talk to anybody in a month. Was gonna pack all my stuff in the cart, but then I met Tag. So he was from here, so I figured it couldn't be all bad. So I stuck around.
Well, it's funny, because the streets were always like, in Calgary, the streets are pretty well empty, and it's like wide open, and there's nobody around. It's like, you can do whatever you want. Out here, it's like, everywhere you go, there's somebody to see and somebody to talk to. There's people asking you for money.
I lost sleep the past few years. Nothing coming up that ain't inside a dream. But I'm awake now. The rain is falling like a pen. I want to catch every drop, stick 'em in my heart, lay down on the earth and me with you. Panorama.
This program is brought to you by Molson Canadian Rocks. It's coming for you.
I guess, rock and roll diversified house. We had a visual artist who did really wild paintings and wore kind of straight clothes. And we had a young kind of bohemian poet.
Kind of guy.
Yeah.
As far as rent and bills and groceries and stuff like that, it's pretty well shared by everybody. Like, somebody had some extra money, it came into the house, and then next week somebody else would have the money. And
it kind of ran like a little mini unspoken communist society sort of thing.
Is a song without words, like a sky without birds. Almost free, always dark behind. We should do this sometime, but not right now's the bottom line. There's a story on the rise. You have to tell once when you were 7. Talking, my interest dropping into the bucket at the bottom of the wishing well. Is a song without words, like a sky without birds. Almost free, always dark behind.
Hey, we'll share each other's toothpaste every now and then, and toothbrushes.
Yeah, we wear each other's t-shirts. Who's got a clean pair of socks? That kind of stuff. You know, the essentials.
smokes, beer, the other Canadian things that we do.
Songwriting.
Songwriting, yeah. We share that too.
That's how we attempt to write. We attempt to write, the three of us together. Sometimes it ends up being, you know, here's a couple verses, take a look at this and see what you think, or, you know, somebody needs a melody, you know, or, but we exchange things, like the property of it, like, we're not concerned with the property of it, like who writes, who made up the melody. Everybody around us seems to be
We're not really concerned at all about, like, who wrote the song, really, because it's come from something that happened the other day. Somebody said something, somebody did something.
Most of the material comes from, like, what we do together and where we live and how we live together. So.
All our arguments and how...
Everything surfaces. You know, last week's argument is in this week's song. You know, often like that. Or it's at some level, maybe not realistically, but in a metaphor or something like that. So... it's pretty well like you gotta watch what you say and what you do, because he's gonna show up.
Yeah, and that's interesting too, because like, you know, when we first started writing songs, like, be like, you know, it'd be almost like reading a diary out loud.
Yeah.
And somebody would see
I never
something go,
said that.
hey, you know.
It's impossible for me to find a harmony line in that song. There's no, absolutely no way.
I'm not singing the song. It's a stupid song. No, I know it's not about me, but it's a stupid song.